Hey
Hey guys,
guys, this is
Welcome
take
to Nameless
one.
Podcast.
This is take
that
one
FM.
of the Nameless Podcast, episode 2. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about immigration today.
Yeah,
I mean,
immigration.
may go on a tangent, But
Love
yeah,
that.
Probably will.
Too
So,
many of those rats, am I right? Oh, I'm playing Elden Ring.
actually,
But
this chat,
yeah, we
this chat
cannot
is
do like 10 different cuts on this one.
yeah,
Guys,
no, we're
Wait, no,
keeping
I'm
this.
fighting. I'm fighting
listen,
rats.
listen, we're keeping this. Okay.
Guys,
So, for the viewers, Yash is out, and Keelan is Biden. So,
walked in.
yeah. So,
he's a man with a goal.
on drugs.
I guess, well, I start by going around and talking about, like, what should we start with in regards to
Let's start by going around sharing our beliefs on immigration.
Okay, I'll start, I guess. So I think in a totally ideal world, there wouldn't be borders. Obviously we don't live in a totally ideal world, but I think we should still work towards, like, basically openness, not in yeah, openness is kind of the way we want to move. I understand there is a serious issue happening. Yeah, there's an issue. So, and in order to tackle it, the best way isn't, as Mike Johnson and Trump would say, rounding up all the illegal immigrants in the country and deporting them. That's not cool. There's other ways to deal with the issue. I would want to do something more at, like, the root cause, but in general, in terms of immigration, I prefer openness.
So Abhishek, now what I'm gonna ask you right now is gonna have to do with this. So bear
Yeah.
with me here. So, do you like Obama as a president? First thing.
Wait, can you
Okay.
say your beliefs first? So, like,
Wait,
Yeah,
no, wait, hold on. Do you like Obama?
Honestly, I don't know enough about the Obama administration.
Oh, that's fair.
I'll tell you about, like, the two things that
No,
I actually know
in what
about.
pertains to illegal immigration.
I don't
Because
really know his policy on immigration, I'll be honest.
all right. So basically, he was known as deporter in chief among illegals. He deported 3 million people, more than Trump ever
Wait, do we
has.
know?
3 million, yes, he deported 3 million people. His border policy was harsher than Donald Trump's. He's separated far more families than you can imagine. So yeah, but when it comes to border policy, I'm against. Well, obviously, I want there to be a legal port of entry and a legal port of entry only. Then we also have like the catch and release policy, which Biden implemented, which I'm not a fan of because that really it just grants easy access. And then these illegal immigrants are given the chance to seek asylum, right? So they declare state of asylum. They say that their country is oppressing them, and then they come into the country. We hand them credit cards. We have them take up space in public schools. We take kids out of school. We see this across the New York boroughs. And I think a lot of American urban infrastructure and urban areas and way of life is significantly is being harmed as a result of illegal migration currently in 2024. We haven't seen that in the suburbs, but yeah, that's basically my take on it.
all right. Who wants to go next?
I can tell you my general take. Um, with the way I view immigration, you know, it's like I think immigration is generally a good thing for the economy. Broadly, of course, there's like nuances in that statement. I think the Cato Institute, for like examples, like excited a lot for like a lot of the immigration analysis, and it's generally found to be a positive thing. Um, for like the argument for like things like totally what's it? Oh, open board also like I agree with the general sentiment to merit, but like sometimes I just think there's like systematic problems with things like completely open borders, but at the same time, with completely closed borders or strict immigration laws and strict cutting, I also think that's a generally bad thing because, in my opinion, the artificial limitation of people entering the labor force is a net bad thing. So, of course, I don't want my general stance on immigration is it's a good thing. We shouldn't have like completely open borders, but we also shouldn't have completely closed borders. I support like regulated immigration with security checkpoints, and I generally prefer Biden's policies on immigration over Trump. Um, like I didn't like the Muslim ban from Trump, or I didn't like the I didn't like the Muslim ban or his the idea of a wall. I would also disagree with that sentiment. But yeah, that's just my general take.
Okay, so just to like clarify something, I am not anti-immigration. I'm pro-immigration. I'm anti-illegal immigration.
Alright.
People have
I'm also
taken that against me.
anti-illegal immigration
I'm
because I
pro.
want to
I'm
make
pro.
immigration as easy as possible. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
I
You
agree.
system is
cannot turn into
too.
another Canada.
Nah, we
Wait
can
for
Too
your
many
afford
turn,
roads
like
in
John.
one
Wait for
country,
your
bro.
turn. Wait for your turn.
But another thing is,
But no,
I
wait for
support
your
like
guys' turn. It's Xfinity's turn.
okay.
Oh yeah, my
it's
bad.
way too bureaucratic the system right now, and yeah, like we benefit tremendously from immigration. America's like the melting pot, man.
Alright.
That's that.
Cultures, labor, all
For
that
real.
shit.
Based.
Alright. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. I love illegal immigration, but let's make it easy.
Yes, spoken like
Pretty.
a
Let's
true.
go. Okay, so
Mine are pretty. My beliefs on immigration are pretty similar to Xfinity's, and Abhishek's.
cool.
Pretty much, open borders are a good ideal. Currently, immigration needs to be extremely accessible. We benefit immensely from immigration. It is a good thing in every way, and we should make it easier for people to come in legally, because that's why illegal immigration is a problem, because it's hard, not because of any other reason.
Yeah, and I like what Akil said about making it as easy as possible to. Yeah, you said it too about making it as easy as possible to come in legally. I feel like that's kind of probably one of the easiest ways to dilute the issue because it's just like it's just such a process to get into the country from any border, and I think all of us can relate to that in some way. It's insane. Like we've all
Such a
gone
big-
through, or at least in terms of our families, we have either we've seen the process for the most part. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think all of us.
Yeah, and in that theme, I mean, like, which one of you, like, which of you have actually gone through like the whole immigration system, like, including their path towards citizenship? So it's a not Neville, like they weren't born here.
Yeah, I have.
I was born here, but my parents I saw it took long enough that I saw the process.
Are your parents citizens now?
They are, but it took 15 years.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I
similar.
I wanna go back to a point Josh brought up. I'm just curious about this. I hear it a lot with as a critique of Biden's immigration policy, but could you explain the catch and release policy, Josh?
Okay,
That-
so
yeah.
from what I've seen, the border patrol that Biden said, we saw in the debate that he said that the border patrol like endorsed him or something. So those very same people, what they do is that if these migrants do come through these gaping holes within the Texas-Mexico border, they're quote unquote captured. So they bring them to like a holding area, and then they just let them go on their way. They don't necessarily give them like significant amount of assistance. They just say like, you're on your own from here, and they go by any means necessary to get to whichever part of the country that they
All
please.
right, I think you're a bit misinformed on that.
What do you mean, Sam?
The catch and release policy. The point is that you catch the immigrants and the illegal immigrants, and then if they're going in for asylum, they receive asylum court dates, but they get released, so like that they can like survive. Like they don't have to return to their country and potentially die.
Yeah, before I mentioned the asylum thing, they all just declare asylum.
Okay, yes,
All of them.
but if you need asylum, like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
do
but
you
their
think that?
claims aren't like actually valid. They're not fleeing anything
Okay, but how do you
scary.
know they're not violent? valid.
One thing I hear a lot is like the standard for becoming what is it from Republicans, the standard for fitting into that asylum or refugee status is like very low. Like one thing I hear from Ben Shapiro is like you just have to say I'm in danger and they'll let you in. I don't know if that's true though. Like
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the asylum seeking policy. All of them, like a large majority of them come here, especially from. There are some African immigrants as well, but majority of them declare asylum, saying that they are fleeing some sort of persecution. The government doesn't really look into that. They kind of just take their claim as it is, and then they're granted stay.
Right, but again, like the alternative to this would be what?
Not letting them in,
And not letting them in. And what happens?
forcing them to come through the legal port of entry, not through the
Okay, but they're in
Texas
asylum, they're in
slash.
danger, and they have to escape their country. And you have to send them back, and so you propose that the alternative is to send them back then? Because remember, illegal port of entry, that's the big problem that we're talking about when we say we want to make immigration more accessible to everybody. A legal port of entry, doing that takes years, and especially on the southern border, where you have a huge line of people waiting for court dates and all that. Even the asylum process itself takes years. That's why it's a very merciful system to allow them to stay at least within the southern border and be able to live. The
But
alternative to that is literally sending them back. If
that's
they're
the
told,
thing. They're not doing either of them. They're keeping them in the Bronx, in Staten Island, in Manhattan. My dad sees it firsthand when he goes to work. They're
they're
holding them
keeping
in public schools,
they're they're
bus
keeping the
stations.
illegal immigrants
Illegal immigrants, yes.
from the south. They're shipping them to New York, to the Bronx.
Yes. They're bringing them to the urban centers in the country.
There is such things as sanctuary cities wherein immigrants can stay, if you're talking about that.
Yeah,
And
Eric
also,
Adams declared New York City as a sanctuary
yes,
city.
and do
But
you think that's a bad thing?
yes,
Why?
um, there's been a decent amount of attacks and murders. You've seen it in Manhattan, Staten Island. There's too much trash there currently as of now. I mean, they're literally polluting the streets. They have no mind or sense for the Constitution or the rights that they have. They kind of go against it. They think they can do whatever they want. That's not
It's
all of
actually
them, but that is a decent
it's
amount.
kind of important to mention though, so when we're talking about crime rates, that immigrants are actually less likely to commit crimes than native-born citizens.
Wasn't the one stat that Apple showed us illegal immigrants? Like, I think it was like but and also
Yeah, exactly.
those are big cities. Like, though they are, I don't think illegal immigrants are
Exactly.
the
Many
cause of.
conservative.
I don't think they're the cause of pollution in New York.
Yeah, many conservative arguments go for a very broad angle, like, oh wow, this is why there's so much crime in New York City. Well, yes, there is a lot more immigrants there, but there's a lot more people there. So there's logically more crime, more pollution. It's not because there's immigrants, it's because it's a big city. If you look at the stats, immigrants commit less crime.
But they're not immigrants. They're
Okay, fine.
illegal immigrants.
Illegal immigrants commit less crime. Oh, unless you count crime as, being there illegal in the first place. Besides that.
Their first act upon entry was a crime,
I know,
and
I
they
said besides
continued it
that.
to
I
one.
said besides that.
Oh, all right.
Besides that, they commit less crime than native-born citizens. That's an important detail. We can't leave that out.
Yeah, and
Is
So
that statistic like including the current border crisis or just illegal migrants over like generally?
so studies like this have been done like consistently. So like
yeah,
this one was done like
This is right now.
it's I think this one is January of like
the one I'm
20.
looking at right now.
This is no December 2023. from my memory, but the stats are generally the same. They don't really
I
change.
think you're also confused. You refer to it as the current border crisis. This is the
Current
same
meaning
border
spanning from
crisis.
January, February till now. January, February 2024 till now.
You're suggesting that in 2 months,
Yeah.
immigration-related crime has gotten worse than native crime rates.
10,000. I mean, if you
What
let in
evidence do you have
10,000
to show
people.
that? What evidence do you have to show that?
And I mean, like logically speaking, too. Like an
Yeah.
illegal immigrant doesn't want to give, the government a reason to deport them again. That,
Which is probably why their crime rates are lower than native born.
yeah,
Yeah, they do. I know that they do hold them to like strict standards. Like something I realized recently with our immigration system is you can actually lose your citizenship if you don't follow proper. Like if you are associated with criminal activity, criminal things. The U.S. has a very strict form of immigration system, which is also why it takes so long to get that citizenship sometimes and
Yeah.
legalized.
And even once you're like become a resident of the United States, I know it's a very bureaucratic system. It can be very easy to mess up, and then your status runs out. And it
Some
takes years. It takes years.
Something I do like about the system is the preference they have for skilled workers and like certain like preferences they have with if you're walking, they take in account of your family, they take in account many things that uh,
I actually do have a small disagreement with that,
yeah,
which I think is kind of surprising. I think preference towards skilled workers is not a good thing.
because we need unskilled. That's what you're gonna say.
Unskilled workers are the types of
Got
immigrants that are more important to the country. About 45% of agricultural workers, I believe, are immigrants of some kind.
yeah,
And
especially in states like California. No, yeah, no, California, Texas, and Florida are the big ones that have that, if I remember correctly. And it's like that's why the whole, that's one of many reasons why the whole Trump deportation thing is so stupid.
yes,
It's like, jeez.
it would
Uh,
cripple the agricultural sector.
So I wonder, would you for that, would you support like removing those preferences then?
I think I think I would remove the skilled workers preference. Besides
For,
that, I think it's
for
genuinely
me, why I
fine.
don't think it's an issue under what my ideal look like system would be is like I would have those preferences for legal immigrants, right? But for the legal immigrants, what I generally support is like, of course, there'll be a cutoff, but I do support like the Ronald Reagan amnesty policy from like 19, I don't know the exact year, 1980, but yeah, he had great amnesty policy, Ronald Reagan, which gave some form of legitimization of illegal immigrants, which I liked. I'm blanking out on the act's name. Let me
Yeah,
actually quick.
I think I
Reagan's,
know what you're talking about. After a few years, they become some form of citizen, right?
yeah, Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986. Yeah. It was a really good amnesty act that I liked.
It definitely makes a lot of sense.
It
If you're
legalized most illegal immigrants that arrived to the country prior to January.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. If you're staying here for over how long was it in the law level?
So with what I understand is it. So the law the deadline is set as January 1st, 1984. So most illegal immigrants before that time was legalized. It was crazy. How many?
Yeah. So definitely I am in support of laws like that. Especially since we already have laws like I know some states have squatters laws where if you're in a property for a few years you can like legally own it. It makes sense to have something like that for citizenship. Or if you stay in a certain place for a number of years, you have the right to live there. Because if you occupy that area for such a long time, you're probably benefiting the economy, same as a citizen would, first of all. and it's important to protect your rights as well.
Yeah, because I know that, and again, like Texas and Florida, like they bring on like illegal immigrant workers specifically so that they don't have to pay them like minimum wage, because that's what at least I've heard, where they kind of like they just don't pay a minimum wage because are you gonna just go to the cops? Like, what are you gonna do about it?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing. I've heard a lot. I know one of my I don't know what he is. Like,
Now,
I think he's a distant cousin is in a situation like that.
yeah. Somewhere where like I think me and Joash would like this is a question that we would both like pose to like I'm just curious generally what are like do you guys have any cutoffs for like immigration per year? Uh,
No, I don't
Or
think.
do
I
you,
don't think that's something you could put like a hard number on.
Yeah.
and then do you think
Right.
immigration and then I'll let Joash go on this, but do you think there's too many immigrants coming in right now in the US? Joash? Joash? Maybe muted.
I think he's busy.
Yo,
Wait, could
Joash.
you repeat the question again?
Yeah, do you think there's too many like illegal immigrants coming in right now in the US? And then
Yeah, it's 10,000 per day or month. It's 10,000. I don't know if it's day or month. I have to
yeah,
recheck that, but that is
and
the
then
number.
with the 10,000 there's also like millions of encounters now. I think it doubled under the Biden administration.
Yeah.
So Sam, what would if you were to put a cutoff, what do you think?
Oh yeah,
Like,
50,000 per month.
50,000, okay.
wait, were you asking me? I don't know if I misheard.
Yeah, I'm asking you, Sam, like do you have
Alright.
any like opinion on a cutoff?
I think cutoffs are pretty ineffective. I don't see a reason for them existing unless the country's actually getting full. But this country is empty, so
Yeah, we have a lot of space and all that. What do you think, Keelan?
they can chill.
What's up?
A cut? Do you just vote any cutoff for
I mean,
illegals?
like, I don't think a flat number is ever gonna be a good
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
not.
depends
It's not a
on everything.
solution.
restriction. Like,
It's like so many
No.
things. It's just a band-aid.
I mean, there is a theoretical cutoff, right? But I don't think it's something that we reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From my view, like so the thing is like I do like on if you're coming here with illegal through an illegal port, but for like all those asylum and refugee reasons, like for those like horrible reasons and stuff, like because of horrible things happening in your nation, I do support granting amnesty or some form of legitimization and legalization of those citizens, maybe permanent residency and a pathway to citizenship. So I do support that, but just wonder, like I can see the Republican side saying, when does it stop if you allow this to happen? Could it keep going? But to be fair, it's just you go on,
Sorry, my
Josh.
bad. No. I was just saying that like doing that incentivizes more people. Like even if you make an effort to stop it, at that point, who's going to care?
I do have to wonder to the people here who think there's too much immigration. What does that mean? Like, what is too much immigration?
What do you think, Josh? Do you have a number yourself?
There isn't too much
I have, like, a number.
immigration.
Like, why is it? Like, what?
There's nothing wrong with immigration, in my opinion, as of now.
Oh wait, I thought you said there's too much immigration.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, too much regarding like illegal immigration because that's 50,000 per month that's coming in currently.
Okay, I thought we were talking about immigration in general. That's why I was wondering.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with immigration as of now. But
And your solution to the illegal immigrants would be?
if you are going to grant them asylum, like actually fact check them and actually figure out what they are speaking of, if they are being truthful or not, and if nothing can be taken from their arguments. I mean, I get, yes, there are not everyone is bad, right?
Well,
But the
do you
fact
think
that there
like,
are
you
so
can
many, there
investigate?
could be very dangerous people hiding within that bunch,
Do you think you
considering
can
that it is
investigate
50,000.
50,000 people though?
Yeah, amongst 50,000 people. I mean, do you think the cartel isn't going to use anyone to make it into the U.S.? They know that it's
cartel
if they
does
were
not
to enter
enter.
the United States, it would be a lot of money that could be made there.
The cartel does not enter through asylum. They enter through
Well,
other
that's
ways.
because the cartel pays off the border security. They have them work for them. They pay them $40,000 a month.
What I've heard is, in terms of the cartel involvement, I've heard they're like the mules that like they bring people in and then they force them, or I don't know how
I mean,
true
it's
this
that,
is,
but there's
but
also
they get them to sell drugs in the U.S.
Yeah.
That,
I mean,
that's
they could
that's what
easily
I heard.
hide among 50,000 people if everyone's claiming.
cartels
But
go into
even
the
then,
asylum system.
like
The cartels have a lot of different methods. They don't go through the asylum system. The asylum system is litigious. Like you'll get caught. There's safer ways for them to transport their product. And yeah, they do. They can just bribe the border patrol people. If you can bribe the border patrol people, why would you like if you're selling drugs to America, you need to carry volume. You can't just like go in like
This
with a pack of cocaine.
this is why I think we can all agree to some extent security checkpoints are probably a good thing. It's like a basic thing we can probably have, right? And yeah.
Oh, I also think that um, Texas authorities should have the right to do what they need to in order to secure their border.
Oh,
The federal government should not be overriding that.
did you
No, that's
support,
definitely a federal government issue, though.
yeah,
Like,
did you did you
if Texas can't handle that many people,
I
that
think
come-
Michigan has the right to nuke Canada.
No, the Texas National Guard and their authorities, I mean, they can handle it. The problem is they're not being allowed to handle it.
yeah, I don't
And-
think they should be,
And I think
because it is like a federal thing, you know.
the last time Texas disobeyed the federal government,
yeah, with the barbed wires.
they
They
put
did
down,
place barbed wire, and then the federal government just removed
and they
it.
put down boys in
It
the
was
surrounding.
actually it was the Supreme Court that told Texas to no, allowed Biden to take down the barbed wires.
And those were very dangerous. Those could have gotten many people killed.
It
And
did get
they
people
placed-
bloody.
But
They
the
placed
people aren't
boys
stupid
to
enough to just kill themselves with the barbed
Dude, you
wire. They
could
can
describe
easily
it as
see that.
stupid, but what if they're desperate?
I don't think they're desperate enough to lose their life at the border.
Or they could lose their life going back if they're asylum candidates. This is why you're making a lot of judgments. These people are desperate. They're asylum candidates for a reason. You don't go up to Mexico. You don't go up to through the entire tail of Latin America to the United States without
Oh,
a
why
reason.
come to the United States only?
we're the
Yes,
greatest
we are the
country.
most developed country on this side of the world.
No,
Yet there
we're
are
definitely
other.
we are the most developed
Well, like,
country.
what
on this
option does Mexico have?
Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, look,
Land of
stereotypically,
milk and honey, dog.
listen, stereotypically, whatever, we are
To
considered
Israel.
no, but in terms of like Latin America,
Not
or
canonically.
not like in terms of like who people can go to if they're that willing to or that motivated, I guess by.
I'm not
the
that familiar
domestic
with immigration policy in South America. I have to look that up.
yeah,
Well,
but like
if we're looking at Latin America, which we are, because every country there is kind of messed up, except for
Yeah.
my beloved Chile, and Mexico's pretty chill, but not really.
El
If you're
Salvador is
looking up
better.
your quality of life,
More.
and if you're fleeing from dictatorial forces like in Venezuela or El Salvador, you're not gonna want to go to Mexico. You're not gonna want to go to any country surrounding your country, especially in the North American part of Latin America.
plus
That part particularly messed up.
America's
Yeah,
What about
but
Brazil and Argentina?
Argentina
Well,
is fucked
no.
up, and Brazil was fucked up, but now they're still fucked up, but less fucked up.
the thing is, America's generally like
America's
like
the only
Neville
place.
said it. No, I think I don't know. Someone said it, but we're literally the land of opportunity. We're the place of the American dream. People come here seeking a better life. Like that. That's kind of the whole thing. So that's why they
Yeah.
come here. That's why I'm here. That's why all of us are here. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, Josh, are you an immigrant?
I'm not an immigrant, no.
Are your parents immigrants?
Legal immigrants, yeah.
Why did they immigrate here? Why didn't they immigrate to Switzerland?
to Mexico.
Switzerland's pretty chill. Yeah, why didn't you immigrate to Mexico? Dude, we could have been friends.
Uh, because
Could
they're
have
not
come
in the
down
tech
to
industry. They're both in the medical field, and there was a demand for nurses at the time. Well, now she's
Oh,
basically a physician, but the laws regarding that were far better in the United States than in any other nation at the time. So a
like
lot of people, especially from South India, they were with
Wait,
nursing backgrounds. They
you're
were coming
South
to the United
Indian?
States.
I didn't even realize.
South Indian.
I actually do think he's right. There's something that happened around like what was this early 2000s, Josh?
Yeah, early 2000s. There was a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
demand for nurses.
There's something about like South people from India and like the medical field in America. I don't know exactly, but my mom is in the pharmaceutical industry, and she came early 2000s also. So
I think that's also just a general trend of Indians,
yeah.
like,
but you
in,
get
to America.
benefits for moving to America, and that's why people
Yeah.
go there as opposed to any other nation in the world, is the point. And especially if you're an asylum seeker, if you're not gonna want to go to a country that's like basically as bad off as your country, you're gonna go the distance. You gotta go. You gotta seek opportunity, and I think everybody here can relate to that in some way.
Yeah. So actually, this is a question I do have generally for like Republicans on this issue. So Josh, do you like empathize with like the idea of like people who are coming from like suffering conditions and like really bad places? Like, do you empathize with the fact that they're coming here illegally because of that?
Well, I mean, I understand what they're going through. I wish they could come through in a legal manner instead of coming through the southern border. But if they are to do, well, yeah, the current administration's letting them in, yes. But if they are to do that, just don't commit crimes.
Okay, but we already
I
established.
mean, the vast
committing
majority
crime.
don't though. Like
Yeah, we already
the
established it.
average immigrant, illegal immigrant, is committing
Right,
less
but if you're
crimes
letting
than.
them in, oh yes, a small population of them, yes, they do commit crimes. But we're also helping them at the expense of the people, the native people around them.
How is it at the expense of the native people around them?
Because, well, first of all, they're being brought into urban areas. And like I said before, public schools are being taken up as asylum or spaces for asylum seekers to sleep, eat, live. They're on the streets. Their trash is also on the streets.
Okay, but
They're given credit cards, free money. They're also given housing to Americans that already cannot
I don't
afford
think
groceries.
illegal immigrants are given free money.
I
Yeah, they
think the
are.
only
Yeah,
place
they
It's
are.
not.
They're given credit cards.
the only
I mean, they
Kind
place
have
of.
credit cards, but like you still need money to use a credit
No, no,
card.
they give them handouts. Like they're literally giving them
And
money
how? They're
for a
illegal
month.
it
immigrants. They aren't
depends.
even like
Yeah, no, that's
registered
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
It,
system.
it
The
depends
state of
on
New
the
York is doing it. They're
it
giving them
depends
money.
on
Like
the
I,
Oh,
state.
New York's okay, okay.
There's the sanctuary city states are more likely to do it.
Oh,
California does it. I guess
New
New York
York is
does
doing
I
it
it.
if
see.
Josh is. I know that California does a lot. So you think that's a bad thing? I guess.
I mean, if they're
If we're
uprooting their
not
whole
in the situation
lives.
that we are in now, that would be a different story. But considering where we are now,
Okay, so
it's
what
different.
would can you like just explain to us your solution to the southern border? Because I don't think we've heard it yet. Because
Well,
like, everyone else agrees. Like make it more permissive. Like what's your story there,
I
Josh?
think that um like whatever by whatever means necessary without harming the illegal migrants, they should be limited when entering the country. They should definitely carry out more thorough background checks on
I don't mean illegal immigrants. I mean like immigration
oh
in
just
general.
legal immigration.
Any immigration, all immigration, including illegal and legal.
Well, I know that the immigration policy that the United States has currently has gotten more strict in the past 20 years or so. Uh, but that is because there is not now as much of a demand as there was, you could say maybe 2005, 2006. So, yes, they could do something to let more immigrants come in legally, which can benefit the nation. But I don't think we're in a great position concerning immigration, nor are we in a bad position.
So you would keep it the way it is, or
For now, yes, but obviously, yes, there's room for improvement. But for now, yeah, I would keep it the way it
see,
is.
that's what
Oh,
I
I want to talk about something. I think I've told some of you this. I don't know how many of you, but okay, I think I thought of this policy. I don't know, but okay, what if we did like some kind of obviously the question where does the funding come for this is always tax rich people, but no, but what if we did like a kind of not a Marshall Plan, but like the countries that where people are in economic distress or political distress, that kind of thing. I feel like helping those countries somehow economically could help solve the underlying issue that causes people to, if they're okay, like where they are, they're not going to illegally run over here. So, what if we help make those countries better?
I think every time we have tried to help those countries get better, we've done bad things to them.
Yeah, it reminds me. It gives me 1900s McKinley imperialist vibes. You know.
Yeah, I think it's an
Yeah,
imperialist policy. I think the countries can get better by themselves. They are getting
I
better.
mean, like we can provide assistance. It doesn't have to be predatory. Like
that's
that's
what.
not
Yeah, I'm not saying
intrinsic
make it
to
I
predatory.
support.
support
I'm saying,
investment, but
yeah,
I
I'm
don't have
saying,
faith
I'm
in our
basically. Yeah, that's a good point. What I was
to
basically advocating for is kind of like an investment plus like foreign aid kind of thing.
yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and then
Don't
agree with
don't
it. As
buy
long
don't
as we
buy up
don't
a
do
bunch of
that.
land. Don't buy up
Yeah.
a bunch of land and create banana
As long as we
plantations.
don't accidentally do imperialism, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Fair.
By the way, small correction. New York City undocumented immigrants don't get housing. They just get the cash assistance and
Okay.
Medicaid.
wait, really?
Yeah, they just get cash assistance and Medicaid.
I heard some of they get hotels. Is that true? Do you know?
Yes, that's what it was. That Yeah, they don't get actual houses; they do get hotel rooms.
They get yeah, they
I'm,
get
I'm
in New
looking at
York.
the page. I don't.
From my memory, in New York, what they did is during a winter storm, I think the government was able to provide hotel rooms. I think it was like 100 for a bunch of immigrants.
That's cool.
Oh, well, that's okay though. You know,
It's a hotel too. It's a
would
private
you want
hotel.
them to freeze on the streets? You
What do you
know,
think, Josh?
I'm
Well,
looking at the thing right now. I don't see anything relating to housing, but maybe I'm missing something.
Mm. Do you think we should be allowed to fund? We should fund illegal immigrants and with housing.
From a humanitarian sense, it's
I don't
fine.
believe they get housing in New York. I'm looking at the New York City government website, but I might miss something. I don't know. Anyway,
it's actually kind of a mix. You are right. Like they don't get housing in some areas. They are left on some, not all of them, but some of them are on the streets. They camp out in the city streets. Then there are those that are in the hotel rooms, and then there are those that are in public schools.
is the public school and wait, so where do they come from? Are they there legally
No, no, no.
or are they just like squatting there?
They're not squatting there. The government placed them there.
Is there other public schools in the area? I don't imagine they just closed the entire school and nobody goes to school.
There was a period like that. I don't think it was permanent, but they had to make a lot of modifications for the already enrolled students.
So everyone still goes to school. Everybody.
They go to school, but a lot of what they have is already limited in terms of what their teacher can provide to the students that were already there from before.
In what way?
Because there's 20,000 people, 20,000 children of the illegal migrants that have.
I mean, I think that speaks to broader issues regarding cities in America, like schools being underfunded, like teachers not being able to handle like massive classrooms due to like increasing populations and stuff. I don't think that's like directly an issue related to immigration. I think it's just
Yeah. But
revealing
knowing that it's
issues.
already an issue, why place them there and make it even worse?
Wait, why wouldn't we fix the issue instead, though?
Yeah, like reducing immigration would just be like putting a bandage on an axe wound.
Yes. I think in general, I think you have like a lot of problems with immigration that aren't really immigration problems, but problems with how the U.S. handles its current systems and how they're unable to scale with population growth.
Yeah. Now, we'll speak. I do think we all agree, I think, on the economic side of immigration. Do we have any takes on like the cultural side and expanding the diversity of America itself?
Wait, first to confirm, do we all agree on on immigration being beneficial to the economy?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and that includes to an extent, to a larger extent, in many ways, illegal immigration, like to the economy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have any takes on the cultural side of immigration? This is something that's very under talked, in my opinion. Now, like obviously, you could get racist about it, but like I think we should have like general discussions about the cultural impact on America with the increased immigration, right? Like, what do you guys think?
I think American culture, if does that exist? Is okay. I mean, like,
Well, so diverse, I don't think it does,
Wait,
but
that's kind of big.
the diversity is a culture.
I think American culture is so boring that it's good that it's getting replaced.
Buffalo wings and football.
okay, never mind. We have American culture, and it's better
Base.
than anything else.
Define American culture, though.
Say that?
American culture is all the cultures, man.
Yeah. Okay. I think like the idea of American culture is inherently like very different than any other culture, or like you don't have like many other multi-ethnic societies of this. I don't think you have any of this scale.
Wait, what about culture are we talking about? Like the way we perceive our role in society and
Kind
government.
of, just
Part of
America
that.
as a whole. Just like,
Immigration.
Yeah, everything really. Anything
Yeah.
relating to culture.
yeah, because I don't.
Oh,
Is there another? I don't think there is another country as as diverse, as multi-ethnic, multicultural as America.
Yeah,
Like,
America's definitely the mixing pot.
Yeah.
so
But do you guys
I
have
think,
any like takes on the diversity aspect of it? Like, would you agree with the statement like diversity is our strength?
Yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah, true.
that's yeah. We are that. It's not just our strength. It's who we are. We are just an interpolation of a bunch of different cultures, and that's what makes us amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed. I don't think anyone
it's
disagrees.
like one of the most distinctive part of American
But what do you
identity.
think, Josh? I didn't hear you.
What was the question again?
Would you agree with the statement diversity is our strength, and then connect that back to immigration?
Diversities. Well, as long as the cultures and way of life are able to be are shared in a civil way in which it doesn't stop like an efficient way of living or just regular life as we see it, as long as there's no problems with it, I don't see an issue.
So, do you think there's any
Sharing
do you
culture.
think there's any cultures that are dangerous to a civil manner, in your opinion?
I don't really see that in the United States, but I definitely see it in Europe
Okay,
Oh wait, you're right. The Polish. We should get rid of them.
I think you're referencing Sweden, but I don't know.
and France.
Okay,
Wait,
yeah.
Quote unquote.
Wait, what's wrong with the Swedish?
No, Sweden.
They're not-
Like
they're
no
not
immigration. Like
Ah.
a lot of I know this from like a lot of Republicans, but like a lot of people were mad about the Swedish immigration integration because
Poor
there was
Nick.
like legitimate
Yeah,
issues with
there is
that.
like, yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, I think in terms of
France is
I-
chilled out. Oh, Nevertheless.
oh,
Hello,
there he
Neville.
is. But in terms of like Europe, right?
Yeah,
It's so interesting because all of those countries, for the most part, are nation states. They are like pretty much one ethnicity, and they basically fought each other for like 2,000 years to get that way.
and
so,
Europe has
Tony, I will disagree, chat.
and I think it's amazing that we're able to have this society. Like,
I say free Catalonia. Independent Catalonia, man. Come on.
Europe countries like a lot of the countries like I like, even like Norway, like these Nordic countries, Scandinavia, they actually do have strict immigration laws.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, oh, sorry, my bad.
No, you go on. Yeah.
Well, if you look at Poland, right?
Oh, that's
How safe are they?
I do think they have pretty low
Yeah,
crime rate. Yeah.
they've had no terrorist attacks, no immigrant crime.
Alright, to
Close
be
to
fair, though,
none.
who would want to commit a terrorist attack against Poland?
Poland's
But-
crime rate.
But
Wait,
then they do it in the UK, they do it in France.
yeah,
But UK
uh,
and France are important. Who cares about Poland?
Poland
Poland.
has a very strong economy. They're
Wait,
it's
listen.
not
do
a,
that? I
by
don't
any
know.
means a poor nation.
They're
No,
not,
they're not a poor
they're
nation,
not an
but they're not
important.
like they're not an economic powerhouse by any means.
Yeah, they're not an important geopolitical nation
No,
either.
okay, I'd say they're important geopolitically, but
Oh, they're
Right,
important because Russia's near.
yeah, that's
They're
true.
important for being
Besides
the
that,
Hispanics are like
You know?
Muslims in Europe. Is
wait, guys, do not read that. You
that's
cannot-
basically what I've been trying to say, but I just don't want to.
No.
Yeah, don't worry,
Um,
they can't see. But
I just searched this up. The crime rates for Poland in 2022 was 0%, 0.00.
Yeah, if they were to have a much looser immigration policy, I'm sure that those issues would
But
happen.
we don't see that, though. We don't see that in the United States either. They do less crime.
and okay, Poland.
That's because it's still regulated here. Like if you look at France, like the effect on Paris, if you see the UK and London,
Okay,
it's so much
wait. So
less
let's
strict
think
there than it is here.
if Poland implemented an immigration policy similarly to the US's, that, as we can see through the data, results in immigrants that commit less crime on average than native citizens, then there would be no problem.
Okay, I don't know if you can kind of just say you can apply.
Well, I
don't know.
agree with that too. I don't think you can say that either, but I'm just going off the premise.
Yeah, okay. Because it's just like because
I think you're blaming immigrants for crime, but we don't like. Yeah, in some circumstances, sure, but there's also ways to mitigate that, as we can see
yeah,
by the fact that other countries
and
have very
we're
successful.
also again very multi-ethnic country. Poland is a nation state. They are, I think, they're probably 99.9% Polish.
In fact, I feel like more when you have nation states, they're more resistant to immigration.
Yeah.
That can cause more violence
or
just because of that.
and they're more
Just because their majority is almost exactly the same.
and
'Cause they're
also
less-
they are more like pro assimilation.
Yeah, like there's more nativist sentiment. Like if you go in the United States, it's hard to be nativist because if you're like in your day-to-day life, you're gonna see people of many different ethnicities.
The only nativists in American history were just like, oh, we hate the Catholics.
Yeah,
Well,
and the only nativists today are really the ones that are like isolated, like in the Midwest, you know,
in,
like
in the deep
you know,
south.
people who don't interact much with like urban areas.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that when it comes to immigration here in the United States, they're not trying to overthrow our government though. Like if you go to the UK and France, they're literally they're parading the streets wanting to overthrow
Okay.
like Western
First of all,
governments and
in the-
civilization as a whole.
First of all, I think the most French thing you can do is threaten to overthrow the country. So I disagree with that completely.
That's an example of
That's
assimilationism.
patriotism.
There,
Yeah,
there's
exactly. They are French. They're French after that. In terms of the UK, I don't know what you're referring to.
in the UK there are Al Qaeda and ISIS subgroups that are there that are pretty prominent. Islamic extremist groups that
I
are
think
calling
that's
for Sharia
mostly-
law upon the UK.
Okay, I think there's.
And do you
I think
they
there
were
are
these
those. I think those
successful
groups
guys?
exist in like most countries at this point.
Those groups don't exist in the US.
No, I
barely.
They definitely do.
I think if they
But-
exist in the
Buddy
UK,
has
They're not.
heard of
They're not
Antifa.
nearly in the same numbers as they are in the UK.
okay, look,
They're significantly more, and they have a much larger presence there, giving them more power.
Wait, can you cite like a specific instance of this? Because I don't see any.
are you talking about
What?
like the Charlie Hebdo attacks, or like
In
'cause
2009, though.
I think it was like 2014.
Yeah, 2015. There was one in Paris.
Yeah,
Like, what are you thinking? Like, which event are you talking about? Because I can't find anything about Al Qaeda in Europe besides 2015 and 2009. You know, and nothing before nothing after 2015, at least. I just think
You
if
can
you're
take your
gonna
time to look.
the evidence,
yeah,
yeah, I'm looking right now. I don't see
Yeah.
any.
That's all luck.
but in general, like I feel like that's kind of like the main. There's in European politics. There's like two total issues. One is immigration, and the other one is the Russia-Ukraine war. That's kind of like the only things going on politically there.
All right, I do see. Well, this is in 2014, but I see British jihadis from Sky News, 500 UK Muslims fighting for groups like the Islamic State. But this is from 2014, and there was only 500 of them. I don't think that's exactly a revolution. There's always gonna be weird people.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, yeah, I don't see
like we
this
have
being
we
relevant.
have fascists, we have communists, we have every weird schizo.
Yeah, but they're
politics.
not as large numbers as
As large numbers as it's
hyper conservative Muslims would be.
well, from what I've seen, there's 500.
Well, okay, there's
I'm sure
probably
there's 500 radical Muslims in the United States as well. I'm sure there's 500 in the state of New York.
there's okay. These people probably exist but that doesn't mean they have anywhere near the capacity to overthrow a government. They can scream all they want. They're not overthrowing the UK, the US, France. It's like physically impossible. That would be the worst insurgency
Tripped
of
up
all
by
time.
that stuff.
It's so like I don't think that's even like a threat. Like
I
Yeah,
wonder.
don't get tripped up with that stuff. You'll see crazy people everywhere. It doesn't mean there's a vast issue.
Does anyone here believe in great replacement theory? No, right?
No.
Okay.
I support it.
Based.
Well, you support the replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
No more white people, guys.
What about you, Josh? Do you know what it is?
Basically, where the native European or Caucasian populations are replaced by like us.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
believe in it?
Let's do a chat.
I don't know if I believe in it, but I mean, there clearly is a change happening, but I don't know if it's like an entire replacement.
I think
Okay, I think we should stress, by the way, because I think nobody here actually believes in it. But
Yeah.
great replacement theory is like the people who believe in that believe it's the Jewish people who are trying to push that. So it's actually an anti-Semitic theory, not just a racist theory.
of
So, I
course.
think
Anything can be anti-Semitic if you try hard enough.
Just ask Neville.
Like,
Hey, that's going in the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought we should clarify because I don't want anyone saying they believe there's a
Oh
replacement.
yeah. Oh, that's my bad. I didn't know about
It's
that part of it.
It's a horrible theory.
Yeah, it's not even what it's trying to be. It's anti-Semitic. Anyway,
Yeah, I
keep
never
going.
knew that.
Hmm.
But where were we on?
We were talking about the culture of.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
culture shit.
In general, what do you think about the? I think we kind of mentioned this, but about the whole, I guess, sub debate of like assimilationism versus, keeping people separate. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think in general that like assimilation to some greater thing is good?
Um,
I think it's beneficial for the immigrants to assimilate, but I don't think it should be false. Anyway.
I think assimilation is pretty lame because I think it's cool seeing a lot of different cultures. But I
It's
mean,
fair.
I think it's something that happens naturally or it doesn't happen naturally. Like if you have an ethnic enclave, your culture is probably going to stay pretty strong and you're still going to be assimilated at the same time.
That's true.
It's not really an issue or a debate or something that you have to go full black and white on. There's a big gray area. Most cultures will have their ethnic enclave and they'll be chilling in there, but they'll also be fully assimilated. No English, be, chill.
Yeah,
Cool.
so with policy, for example, I see something Vivek proposed is like there should be no form of Spanish sign. There should only be English. What do you guys think about that?
I
I
mean,
don't think it's
if it's
Wait,
in
what do you mean signs?
like roadside.
if they're in like a Spanish speaking community, like an ethnic conclave,
Yeah.
like
Okay,
that
counterpoint.
seems
Okay,
bad.
forget about assimilation for a second, right? If you get rid of Spanish on signs and certain people just can't read English, that's just gonna lead to accidents for everyone.
Yeah, I saw something where they like tried to like in Europe they had like a standard for like all the street signs. Of course, America doesn't follow that standard. So, I'm citing half as interesting, but anyways, they so what happened was in like Cincinnati or something, they did like a trial with the European signs to see if America would get that, and what happened was everyone just kept crashing. They just kept crashing. So,
Yeah, I think that's pretty silly of Vivek to say. Everybody, most countries in the world have signs in different languages. Canada has signs that are in Spanish and French and in English, depending on which area you are in.
that's cool.
I think it was actually kind of interesting. I was in Canada. I was in Quebec, so the signs were in French. But we also found a very Hispanic part of Quebec, and all the signs were in French and Spanish,
Ooh.
and there was no English. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I was in Montreal
Cut
last
out
year,
the-
and I just remember we got like really confused because we were driving in, right? So we were in Ontario, and then we got to Quebec, and all of a sudden, like the street signs changed or like
Beautiful.
something. Yeah, it was great.
I do think it's kind of interesting that people in Quebec seem to really hate to speak in English, but they're chill speaking in Spanish and French.
Latin languages.
Yeah, they really hate English though. They look at you mean. They look at you mean if you speak English. I can respect it though. I wouldn't want to speak in a language made by the British either.
Yeah. So are the Quebecois part of Latin America?
Honorary members.
Cool.
Actually, they're not until they declare independence.
That's true.
They need to rebel first
I feel
and be
like
part of the
I
gang.
feel like with a lot of like independence movements that you see, like for the most part, like are they gonna be economically like solvent? Like I don't like Scotland. Like that's like one where from what I've seen, like it would be cool if they were independent, but also they would not work economically.
To be clear, chat audience, whoever you are,
Yeah.
Declaring independence is bad, and everybody should stay together and be friends. I
What do you
just think
mean?
it's funny if there would be more countries.
That's true. Yeah. No, declaring
Honestly,
independence is
it's
the most American thing you can do.
Because, like, I think the one of them that's interesting is Quebec and Catalonia. Just because, like, if they declared independence, most of the economy are within of the economy of the countries they're in are inside of them. So it'd actually be the other way around.
Oh,
The outside country would get devastated.
that's really funny. Well, I just thought of it, but I don't know.
But yeah, I think in regards to culture, everyone pretty much agrees. Culture's chill. So, anybody have any disagreements left regarding immigration?
No, I think we established the party line.
All right. I think that's probably a bit of a wrap on the immigration conversation.
Yeah.
I guess.
Anyone
All
else
right.
have anything they want to add?
Going once, going twice.
I object. Hold up. I want to cover something quickly.
Yeah.
We didn't actually talk about like the actual policies relating to immigration, like passed on the comparing them with Biden and Trump.
Oh, yeah.
I can do a quick summary for my.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Which
Yeah.
president's immigration policy do you guys think was the best?
Yeah.
Millard
Okay.
Fillmore.
How about we start in order? If you don't know any of the policies, you can like skip. But
Yeah, that's cool too.
we can start with us. Do you want to start, Sam? Since you brought.
Um, I think they're all kind of bad.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess Biden's would be the best, even though they're all mid. They're all mid. They're all bad. They're not even mid. They're all bad.
Okay, Josh, what do you think?
We're kind of
Josh.
just gonna listen on this one.
Okay. What's it? I brought it up. Hold up. Let me just.
Hey, Abhishek, do you have a?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Same with me. I feel like every policy that I've heard of so far in terms of presidents has been pretty bad. But like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't really have one. I'm just gonna say Millard Fillmore of the Know Nothing Party, probably on top. Only Protestants should be allowed.
Okay. Keelan, do you have anything to say?
I mean, yeah, American presidents are kind of mid on immigration, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like
it's a tough issue to like.
I feel like a lot of this is
I don't
due
think
to
the median American sees the benefit of immigration.
I
you know?
don't. I'll tell you this. I don't see the immigration issue being solved anytime in the recent.
Yeah.
Just because no one has the political will. It's insane. Like because now at this point it's just an issue to pass around. Like, oh, Trump isn't solving immigration. Oh, Biden isn't solving immigration. So it's just what's gonna
I
happen.
think it's
No.
because the media plays it up like it's an issue, and in reality,
Yeah, for sure. I
And
don't like.
from my analysis, I think people do hate on Biden a little bit, even from like the leftist side on the immigration policy. Now I understand he's
that's
done
bad policy.
yeah, I understand he's done like a lot of bad things, but he's also like done. So here's some things I know he's done. On his first day, he created an executive order where he created a task force to unite families who split under Trump's administration. So he in total he reunited 700 families. Then he also ended Trump's Muslim ban and then increased refugee admissions.
Wait. That was going until the end of his presidency. I could have
Yeah.
sworn. Okay, I could have sworn he stopped. He got like forced to stop that because it was unconstitutional.
Let me. So maybe. No, I don't think so. No. He had the Muslim ban for like a while.
Wow, I never realized that. I thought that got stopped.
Yeah, no. Biden withdrew the ban on travel to the U.S. from several majority Muslim countries that Trump
Wow.
instituted in 2017 and actually expanded later on.
Wild policy, by the way. I feel like everyone forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's absolutely ridiculous.
the Muslim ban was insane. Yeah, and then
Jesus.
Biden increased refugee admissions. This is big. It was Trump capped it at 125. He lifted that cap. So yeah, he maintained the inclusion of undocumented residents on the census, which Trump tried to exclude them from the census. Census polls and data.
That's
He
a voter
expanded.
suppression move right
Yeah,
there.
Biden expanded humanitarian parole, and he did do what he did with his rules for deportations was he instructed ICE to mainly limit arrests to immigrants who are related to crime, which I thought was a good move. So yeah,
He revoked visas. Trump
but wait, say that again.
Trump revoked visas. So,
Yeah. So from here's what Trump did. He did the Muslim ban. We know that. He prosecuted record numbers of illegal immigrants at the southern border. He built a bit of a wall.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the wall.
He turned away 2.8 potential immigrants with the
Total
you
2.8.
Mexico did not pay for the wall.
they let 1/5 of an immigrant through.
Dude, Peña Nieto, that's the only good thing he did was refuse to speak to Trump about the wall. The only good thing. He was trash other than that. Only worst thing.
So I
Wait,
think
who was he
Biden
again?
actually
Wait, what's his name?
Peña Nieto.
Oh yeah, I
P.E.
remember that. Yeah.
He also did meet him later, I guess. But, yeah, he's also corrupt. But you know.
So I actually liked a lot of Biden's policies for immigration, although I didn't support the Ukraine tying that to the immigration.
I think
Funding.
that was kind of forced. Like, at that point.
Biden's policy hasn't been that different from Trump's. Well, I mean, it has been, but you know what I mean.
But to any like Trump voters, like who would see this, I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, I feel like any reasonable person would still understand that Biden's just better for immigration, in my
It's
opinion.
pretty bold. Okay, I'll say.
Okay,
it's
anyone
kinda bold
voting
of
for
you.
Trump isn't trying to like.
No, I'll say it's kind of.
They
bold
see
of you.
immigration different.
Look, I'm gonna say it's kind of bold of you to assume that the average Trump voter is a reasonable person. The
I
average.
think the problem is that like this is such a media issue. Both
This-
presidents have made moves in making illegal immigration go down. It's not like any president that gets elected is going to make immigration go down. There is no problem. It's just a media problem. I don't even think Trump has necessarily been better
Yeah,
in quotes because
we're
the
in, we're
Federals.
just in the era of yellow journalism.
Yeah, I think that the media has really made a big deal out of this issue, and it's not a crisis. There's been no crisis. It's been going on for years. It's fine. Nothing bad has happened.
The worst part.
Yeah,
the worst part-
xenophobia is like deeply rooted in America. So like it's
I'd say-
really easy to rile people up over like
Yeah.
these foreigners.
I'd say the
coming in.
worst part of it that has happened is anything with fentanyl. But like even then, that's just another illegal drug. Like it's a really bad one, but it's just another one. And I think that that's more emblematic of our issues with China than our border issue, like the fentanyl epidemic
Or issues with what?
with
Sorry.
China.
Then, yeah. I think that covers everything, guys.
Cool.
That's a good episode on immigration.
Yeah.
Happy with Joe Ashia for this.
No, he's muted, bro.
All right.
For real.
Well. Yeah, it's like 11:30.
Bro, Elden Ring is such a goofy game. I just like
Okay,
whacked a tree. Turns
You
out
can
it was a person.
And you can handle coding.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Enables podcast. See ya.
next episode. See ya.